Hi, this is Ann with Finance on the Offense, and today I'm going to go over something you might have heard about, but maybe not, and that is the Metaverse. We'll go over what the Metaverse is, or hopefully will be, and whether or not you should invest in it. And by the way, I'm not a finance professional, so everything you see in this video is just for entertainment purposes only. All right, let's get started. Now there's another term you might have heard of recently in the news, and that is Meta. Meta is actually not the Metaverse, but it is Facebook's new umbrella company that houses all their companies. So Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Giphy, Oculus, and Mapillary. So that Meta is a company, and it's run by Mark Zuckerberg. But the thing is, the reason he named his company Meta is because of the Metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg talked in an interview about what he thought the Metaverse was going to be like. He said that to him, it felt like the next frontier in social connection. When he started Facebook, the internet was mostly just about text. Then we got phones with cameras, and the internet became much more visual. And then internet connections improved and video became the next big thing. So he thinks the next medium will be even more immersive and you'll be inside the experience, not just looking at it on a screen. And that is the Metaverse. So what is the Metaverse? The Metaverse is a virtual reality world that doesn't actually exist in the way that they are hoping for it right now, at least as far as I know. But there are a lot of companies that are working on it. The hope for the Metaverse is that you put on a virtual reality headset and then you can visit virtual worlds. You yourself will be a hologram in that world, and you'll be able to see other people's holograms and interact with them. So there are a few ways they're wanting to use this. You could get your office team together to collaborate in a conference room in like a simulation of a New York City high-rise, or a tiki hut in Bali if you wanted to go that route. You'd be able to see and interact with your team as if they are really there. You could go on a simulated vacation to Paris, where everything would be just as it is in real life, while never actually leaving your house. You could go shopping and kind of try on a jacket or whatever with your hologram avatar. Then if it fits and looks good, you can buy it and it'll be shipped to your door in real life. You could attend a live concert with thousands of other people and it would actually be happening live, except the singer and all the other attendants would also just be in their living rooms or wherever they actually were in real life. Of course, most of these ideas are going to require some kind of treadmill, I'm thinking. Otherwise, we'd be bumping into our couch while we're walking down the street in Paris. Now, the beginnings of the Metaverse already exist, but I think in the next few years, they'll become more and more realistic. I'm sure it'll have a progression just like everything else. Remember how video games started out with Atari and it was just awful? Look where those are now. The internet, too, like Ask Jeeves and AOL, and look how far we've come. Huge companies are investing millions into the Metaverse, like Microsoft, Facebook or Meta, and of course a ton of video game companies. Even the US Army is getting in on it. They're using it to train soldiers in realistic but completely safe scenarios. Two sites that you can check out right now that are working towards building the Metaverse are Sandbox and Decentraland, and I'll put those links in the description below. Both of those sites sell land inside the Metaverse, and there are only so many plots, and companies are buying this land like hotcakes. So should you invest in the Metaverse? In my opinion, it wouldn't hurt. With all these big companies throwing money at it, I think since they see the potential in it, it's probably a good idea to invest a little into it too. So how do you invest in the Metaverse? If you want to invest in single stocks, there are a few companies that are really throwing a lot of their resources into the Metaverse. First is Roblox, which is a video game company. And if you want to know more about Roblox, I actually have another video that I'm going to leave in the description below that you can take a look at. Second is Meta, Mark Zuckerberg's company for Facebook, Oculus, and the ones we talked about earlier. Third is Nvidia, and they currently own their own Metaverse called the Omniverse. That's a platform for connecting other 3D worlds into kind of like a shared universe. Possibly the best option to invest in the Metaverse is just to buy a diversified ETF that focuses on it. One of these is the Round Hill Ball Metaverse ETF. The ticker for that is METV. This ETF holds a lot of the stocks that are heavily invested or poised to invest in the metaverse. Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Roblox, Meta or Facebook, and a whole bunch of other companies. So this is a way less risky option because it's more diversified, but it has a fairly high expense ratio, and that is 0.75%. So you definitely need to factor this in. Another metaverse ETF is Punk. PUNK. This one is brand new and holds a lot of the same stocks that the other ETF has, but it also has a high expense ratio of 0.75%. If you compare those expense ratios to Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF, that one is 0.03%. So yeah, 0.75% is pretty expensive, but the ETF is diversified and it follows the metaverse. If you do decide to invest in the metaverse, I would just limit it to 3 to 5% of your investment portfolio. I think it would be a nice addition to your portfolio, but the risk is relatively high, and the metaverse, as they're hoping it's going to be, hasn't actually been created yet. So I would just do a small amount. All right, I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please click on the like button, and I'll see you next week with another Finance on the Offense video. Thank you.